All right then, guys and girls, a couple of things to address before we get into this video. A few people at my workplace complained about the fact that I didn't have my camera on, so you can't see my handsome face, and I didn't edit out the start of the Teams recording. So I'll make an effort. I'll try and do that moving forward, even if it does mean that it adds a whole 5 minutes onto my workflow. But anyway, let's jump right into it. I've decided to take a bit of a different approach of these settings because some of them are so ambiguous that I don't even know what they mean. So I'm doing some further research into those, and others are kind of pretty self-explanatory and don't really have an impact on the overall administration of the platform. Now, I will go through these settings, but I think it's more important that we go through things that actually might have an impact on the platform as a whole and how you administer things. So today's setting is disable portal creation by non-admin users. So what does that mean? So the portal that is being referred to here is, of course, Power Apps portals or Power Pages. And again, the wording here is a little bit confusing, and it goes along with the non-admin users that we've seen in some of the other settings. And what that means is that on Power Pages, I'm using a demo environment and I'm signed in with my amazing Big Dave account. And as standard in an environment, you cannot create a Power Pages site unless you've got system administrator or system customizer. So you can see here, I'm in Power Pages. It will say that I don't have the permission to create the site. Now, if I switch over to my admin user and I just assign myself my Big Dave account, the system administrator role, give that a save, and we flick back over to the Power Pages site. It does take sometimes a couple of seconds to come through, but it's usually pretty quick. It will flash up, but now I can start from a template or start from blank to create my site. Now, in some instances, I might actually want to lock this down a little bit further. So that's exactly what this setting is for. So essentially enabling the setting will mean that only the administrators such as Power Platform Administrator, Global Administrator, etc., would be able to create those portals via the UI. So how can we set this? So it's not actually an available setting in our tenant settings, as we've seen with some of the other settings. So if we look at tenant settings and we did a search for portal, something like that, it's not available to us in this list of kind of tenant settings. It may be buried deep down elsewhere. I haven't been able to find it so far, but as far as I can tell, this is an API or a CLI only setting for you to be able to set. So the way that you can do this is you can just do pack admin update tenant settings, provide the setting name, which is disable portal creation by non-admin users, and then the value that you want to give it. So in this instance, we want to set it to true. And you can, of course, pass the entire JSON file as we've got here for the settings. But if you just want to update an individual one, you can use this command, and that's then updated. So if I go back to my Big Dave account and I refresh Power Pages, now you can see I don't even have the ability to create a Power Pages site. Now, there are a couple of things to be aware of. So there are additional layers of security, which we can get into in this series, which mean that the Power Pages site kind of needs to be approved anyway by someone who's got global administrator rights, because they create an app registration in Azure. But especially for just internal development sites, this setting is really useful because people may be kind of system administrators within their own developer environment, and you might want to limit the creation of Power Pages within that. So I think it's a useful setting depending on the use case. It's not something that I'd have on as mandatory, but I definitely think it has its usefulness and it can be used in some decent scenarios. So yeah, that setting is disable portal creation by non-admin users. It's defaulted to false, but I think in some instances it's useful to set that on to true. And yeah, just to reiterate, so even if you're a system administrator on an environment, what they're referring to by admin users is kind of the Power Platform administrators and global administrators, and I think service admins as well. So a little bit confusion with the naming conventions there, but hopefully this clears a few things up for you guys. Cheers. I'll see you in the next one.